Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Riverbend Talent on the Big Z. I'm Dennis. Pigpen's here too.
I'm here.
And for the first time, Pigpen, together, we've got Mom on with us tonight for Mother's Day. Now, people are saying, now, wait a minute, you guys aren't related. What are you talking about? Well, we are, through our surrogate mother, right?
Right.
And it's many people's surrogate mother around the Riverbend, so we thought Jody Hopper was a perfect person. We've been wanting to have her on for Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day, Jody.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the first time we've me and you have been on the radio together. You were on one other time.
I try to stay away from you. I just
all these surrogate musical children around the area, and I'm the black sheep.
Oh, that's right. But you did it.
Now, for the folks who don't know, and I don't think there's many that don't know what we're talking about here tonight, but Jody Hopper owned a little music shop behind her house, and it was more than a little music shop. But we'll let the folks who didn't know just kind of visualize that for a minute. And that's where a lot of musicians in this town met. And the very first customer just so happened to be our very own Pigpen.
And it didn't even shut me down.
Yeah. Somehow you survived in spite of that.
I did. That's what made me so great. You taught me a lesson.
It wasn't even a little shop behind your house when I stopped in. It was in the basement. That shop.
It was.
Yeah. The back building wasn't built yet.
No, it wasn't supposed to grow into that. But shortly it did. But I loved it. I don't know where I would be without it. I loved it. I love my musician family.
And we love you.
I know. My daughter always says, "Mom, we can't go no place that somebody don't know you." I said, "Well, I can't help that."
Well, what you said about you don't. Sorry?
She'd be in a hurry, and she would want to come home. And, of course, I had to talk to people when they talked to me. And she said, "Can't you just keep rolling?" I'm like, "No, I can't do that."
You made the comment a second ago. You said, "I don't know where I would be without that music store." I don't know where I would be without that music store either.
I've had so many people tell me that, and that just, it warms my heart, because I went into it for that reason. We had so many kids around that wanted to play and didn't have any money, and nobody wanted to trust them. So I talked to Don, and I said, "Well, why can't we just start a little thing and then maybe just help kids out?" He's like, "Okay." So we built it on, and we had to space everything to have something on each wall. We had very little. And it was probably, I don't know, 6 weeks. He said, "I can't do that. I can't make decisions on the spur of the moment and stuff." He said, "I'm closing it down." I said, "You can't close it down. I just got in touch with all the people that's going to furnish our stuff, And he said, "Well, there it is. Go after it." And I thought, "Can I do this? I can do this." So I said, "Okay." Well, the IRS would not let us. He couldn't just turn it over to me. I had to buy it from him. And I thought, I already got money in there. I'll give you $1. And that's what we did, so that we could get it in my name. Yeah, I love it.
Best buy you ever made.
It is. I loved what I was doing. I loved talking to the people. And, I had a few, what do you call them, unfavorable people, but very few. That was just at first. After we got things straightened out, you just had a little bit of a smart mouth, But after I told you to shut up or get out, you kind of turned around. I love this crap. I'm just.
I love you too, Jody. And if I could go back to that time when I bought that very first Epiphone, that's
Yep.
an SG copy.
That's me. Yep.
If I could get that guitar back, I don't know what kind of foolish move I made. Some of that thing. That was such a great guitar.
Those were very good guitars, and they also made no, that was Electra. Made a Les Paul that was absolutely. If you blindfolded you could not tell the difference in them. But, you know, those days are over. Those are both out of business now. So.
Jody, we got a few surprises for you tonight.
Oh,
and I think I got one on the line, but I'm not sure because off camera is what I'm seeing. But do you know who that picture is right there? Can you see?
By me?
It says Holly's camera is off.
Holly, yeah, Holly,
who's that?
Andy.
Yeah, and Holly.
Hey, Jody.
Hey, what's going on?
I can see her. Yeah.
Can you see me?
Hi.
Hi, baby. How are you?
Real good. Surprise.
Good.
We had complications trying to figure out how to turn the camera back on.
I know. We kept kicking us off, so.
Yeah, I was just looking at the little phone screen with all the mute and the speaker and everything, and then finally Holly's like, hey, you got to do this. And then, bam, there you are.
Well, we come in handy sometimes, you know. Women do know a little bit.
Yeah.
For the folks listening in, joining us right now, Andy Eichorn. And Andy spent a lot of time at Jody's shop.
Oh, yes.
And Andy's wife Holly's with us because Holly's helping Andy figure out how to use this stuff.
Holly's with us.
Yeah, she's my Facebook. She's my Facebook.
Connoisseur.
I guess you could say liaison. Yeah, she bridges me to Facebook because people message on there, and then I have to get on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and she's like, don't touch this, don't touch that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I just friended like half of Finland or something, so I'm not really sure sometimes.
It's okay. I'm not real good with computers either. I can tell you what you know about music, but I am not good with computers.
Well, yeah, I can set up a PA, I can set up a guitar, but
there you go.
Computers sometimes I used to do it, but I get lucky. Thankfully they have Google and YouTube now.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. That helps.
It's just like problems around the house. You know, if you got anything, you just Google and YouTube it.
Yeah. That's what my sister said. She said as long as they had Google, she would never not be smart. She would know everything.
Oh, exactly. If you have the tools, or at least you know somebody that has the tools, you can get it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, we can't now. We have to stay 6 feet apart. We couldn't reach each other.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
Andy, what bands have you played with over the years?
Well, I started out in high school playing with Tony Gonzalez, Greg Beerbaum, and Jason. Well, the first band, it was Greg Beerbaum, Tony Gonzalez, Eric Bauer.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Eric, yeah.
Yeah, and that was Tim Bauer's little brother.
His younger brother, yeah.
And I'm trying to think who. Oh, and Randy Houck played drums for us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we played the Battle of the Bands our freshman year in high school. And it was trying to think of who. I think they called themselves Children of Death.
Right.
Tim Bauer.
Darren Wilson.
Darren Wilson, yeah, he drove the hearse.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Butch was the drummer. Butch McMaster.
He was. He was.
They said, hey, just bring your guitars and stuff. You know, Randy can use our drums. And we're like, yeah, cool. And so anyway, we played. You know, we did our thing. You know, we got up. We did our. Couldn't even tell you what we played now. But anyway, we get done playing, and they had done their set. We get done, and we got beat by Cross Tie Walkers.
Yeah, I remember that.
Matt Rafferty's old band.
Right.
It was Scotty Cornell played drums.
Drums, yeah, and the Holiday Boy played bass.
Yep.
And his brother played guitar, didn't he?
I believe so.
I can't think of his first name, but
yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
I can picture up there.
Yeah, both of the brothers played in that.
Yeah, but then, then over the years we had, and then Jason Dunham, he started singing for us sophomore year, and then we had a couple different bass players, Jimmy Lavelle, and then Tom Codris.
Yeah,
he played bass for us a little bit.
Yeah.
And then then Matt Rafferty started singing for us.
I remember that.
And that was our last Battle of the Bands. And then we didn't play together for a long time. And then we got back together after high school and had a band we called The Finale.
I remember that.
That was me, Tony Gonzalez, JD, all playing guitar. And then we had Greg Beerbaum, Chris Link playing drums.
Yeah.
So we had 2 drummers. And then we had Matt Rafferty that played keyboards, maraca, and tambourine sometimes. And we always ended up getting the gig opening for people. So that was why when we came up with the name, we were like, we're going to call ourselves The Finale. Because we thought it was hilarious after a couple party balls. You remember the Coors party balls that came out back then?
Yeah.
That was our band practice down. Matt and his girlfriend had a house over off, it was off of Condit or Sanford or something up in Alton. And we practiced in the basement, all 6 of us. And because there were 6 people, you couldn't just buy a 12-pack and bring it to band practice. I mean, there's a lot of beer being drank, And then plus you got buddies that come by and stuff, so... But then we've had different iterations over the years. We played, just around town for a while, and then, everybody got older and got married, had kids, got jobs, and, we're kind of getting back into it now. Me and JD and Chris Link and a guy from their church named Eric have been getting together and jamming and doing some stuff and writing, and it's been exciting, but we don't have the big rock star plans like we used to, going playing out all weekends and, hoping for that a little bit more beer money, to have by the next week.
You had to reach for the stars. You didn't know you couldn't reach them.
Exactly. Yeah, we didn't know. We tried. Well, we saw the other bands, getting around town like Stubblefield, they were something.
Yeah.
Bishops.
Dead Planet. Bishops.
Skywalkers.
Judge Nothing,
yeah.
It's like, man, it's we were in a different vein of stuff, and that's why when we would get up and play some of our things, everybody's like, who the hell is this band? What are they playing? We haven't heard any of this stuff before, and it's like, yeah, and it's going to go on for another 6 minutes, so get into it. And then we're going to go into the next song, and, you're not going to know that one either.
Andy, you're forgetting one. You're forgetting one band.
Oh, yeah. I was in a band with Kenny Jameson. A guy named Jason Adams played bass. And it was Chris Link playing drums. That was how I got introduced to him, and Micah Brooks. They were parting ways with their guitar player, and so me and Micah went up and tried out for the band, and they were wanting to write music and do stuff, and so anyway, ended up forming a band with them guys called Never Someday. And,
still, I don't know. There's Damon.
So yeah, I've added someone else now to surprise you, Jody.
Me and Damon
Wittman.
Andy?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was Damon.
It is Damon.
Oh.
Yeah. How you doing, Joe?
I'm fine, and you?
Jody.
I've known this kid since he hunted for drum stuffing trash.
Yep.
he'd come by and he'd say, do you have anything in drum stuff you want to give away or throw away? Well, we'd go through it and see what I could find, and he would take it. He would take every bit of it. And the first time I heard him play, he had drums pieced together from all over, nothing matched or anything. And he was just wailing on those drums, and I thought, you know, he's going to be a good drummer someday if he can play on that.
Yeah, I know. I destroyed a few of your heads.
Oh, I remember. We had a brand new drum set, and we just set it up. And Damon says, "Can I try it?" I said, "Yeah." Oh my Lord! It was good. But when he left, John went over there and he looked and he said, "You better order some new drum heads for these drums." And I said, "Why? Just because they have marks?" He goes, "No, they have indentions." So he had a good time. So who cares?
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
Damon Wittman, for the folks listening in on the radio, plays with Leadfoot. You've been playing with them for a long time, huh?
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I've been in Leadfoot for a few years, but, you know, I've known Jody since I was playing and 15 years old, and anytime I needed something, all I had to do was show up. Yeah, I'd break it the night before, and I'd show up there on Saturday and go, "Hey, Jody, you know, I broke this piece on this tom arm. Do you think you might have one?" And all I go is, "Go dig in that box over there. Maybe over there." And I'd walk 10 feet, and there it would be, you know, and I'd grab it and be like, "Gosh, I really need this." And she'd go, "Okay, that's fine. When you get done playing this weekend, you just come back next weekend. We'll take care of it." And always took care of it. You know, without that, you know, a lot of us guys, when we were younger, we needed that. You know, you was like a mother to all of us struggling musicians. It was a huge help to all of us.
Well, that's
Well, looks like we lost up there. Yeah, we've had a couple times where we lost contact with me and Rob talking with their internet. So, what else are you doing these days, Damon?
Right now, you know, I just released 2 new songs with my original band, Seventh and Ever. And Seventh and Ever has been together for 20, 25 years, off and on. And we'll record maybe a disc, and then we'll take 5 years off or whatever. But the last few years, we have been really putting forth a lot of work in it. And we just shared it on Facebook not too long ago, that New World Disorder. It's a video and me recording it. Seventh and Ever, it's really good, and we've worked really hard at it, and there's 6 of us now. We do have keyboards with 2 guitar players, so it is a lot going on. And it's kind of a throwback, too, I would say, to more of, you know, maybe Dream Theater, Queensryche type stuff, you know.
So some brand new original material. We'll have to have you guys on at some point. You got a CD or something coming out?
We do. Right now, we just have these 2 tracks we're working on, so it will be a whole theme and everything. But I don't know that whole situation as yet. I just know the 2 tunes we're working on, 2 more coming. We did finish one last year, and it was Evolution, and it was really, really a good setup. I have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to check that out.
Evolution.
I'm gonna see.
Yeah, Evolution was, it started, and then we actually added a couple tracks to that. Being that it's not like it used to, where you just retunes and made a disc. It's kind of weird nowadays, I would say. We do 6 or 7 songs, and then we add 2 more later, and sell it that way, you know. And it's just how we work it, you know.
I think we got Jody back.
There's Jody.
You know, I figured it out. Somebody that works at Spectrum probably is somebody I repoed something, and they're paying me back.
That's it.
I'll get you, Jody Hopper.
Yeah, that's
Listen, I'm coming after you, girl.
Well, I didn't do much of that, but if they got to be a regular, let's see, what's the nice word, butthole, I would, but I didn't if I had to. We were
able to catch up with Damon and what he's been doing these days while he was away.
You know. That's not nice.
Yeah, that's That's Mom talking, guys. You see how we got quiet there?
I think we lost something.
Yeah, I might have lost her again there. She froze up. It's a good shot over there.
The whole world is a home on the internet right now, so everybody's bogged down.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. On each TV, I mean, multiple rooms, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got to be building up, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she was right, though. I did destroy a whole set of brand new heads on one of them kits that she bought back when I was like 15 years old. I remember that, too.
Man, what
I don't think Don wasn't real happy.
Yeah, I can't even remember all the stuff I carried out of that store. I carried back in to trade in later when I needed money.
No,
Yeah.
I hear you.
That's
Yeah.
no kidding.
Yeah, and when you talk to people not from around here and tell them that story, they just look at you like you're crazy. Nobody just gave you stuff and let you leave.
Yeah, I know.
Pay no money, really?
Nah, like you could walk in there and say, Jody, I want to start a band. What do you need, honey?
Yep.
Well, we need a guitar amp, and a bass amp, and a microphone, and something to plug that into, and well, how much money you got? $36. And somehow you'd walk out with enough stuff to start a band,
We need that whole wall of gear right there. That whole wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I've still got a bunch of stuff that came out of that shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, she was always good about that because she let you walk out because if you didn't pay her, she knew all your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt.
It wasn't like you were going to get away with just walking away with like, $100 guitar that was like a piece of gold back then,
Right.
Well, there was also the certain few that didn't get that treatment.
No, that's for sure.
But she was definitely intelligent. She knew what was going on about that. Certain ones didn't get that treatment, but a lot of us did.
Yeah. Well, she had that sign in there that said prices are subject to change depending upon customers' attitude.
I did.
It's
I
like,
did, and I made that for a reason.
Yep.
We can't get it off.
Okay.
We were just talking before you came back on about how great you were to all of us. Where we could just walk in there and tell you we wanted to start a band, and we had very little money but needed lots of gear, and you'd let us walk out the door. You say, how much money you got? $36. Will you keep $5 and give me, $31?
Yeah.
Yeah, but just look at all of you now. What great musicians you are. And I have created that.
Yes, you have. You've definitely been a part of it.
I tell you, without that, I didn't know what we would do.
I know, Dave. I hear that, and at first I used to say, no, you had the talent. But then I get to thinking, I think I did because I not only sold you guys equipment, we talked personally on things. I gave a lot of people ideas when they were getting in trouble and stuff. So I think I did play a part.
A major part.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. I know in mine, I know me and Micah Brooks and Tim Summers would come down even before we could drive. That was like hanging.
Yeah, you guys would walk up here, yeah.
Yep, and we'd sit in there and we'd drink your 25-cent sodas and we'd smoke cigarettes and nobody knew we were smoking cigarettes. And it's like, oh man, we dream about those Strats and those nice guitars up on the wall going up into the house. It's like, boy, those are the ones we can't touch. Those are the ones that, oh my gosh, I'm never going to have that much money ever in my life.
Well,
it was like
they were kind of off limits.
Well, especially to us kids coming in there that you knew that we had $36 in our pocket.
Right.
You know, and we probably won't be seeing no money like them cost anytime soon.
I don't know. I loved it. I enjoyed every minute of it. Well, sometimes when scrap come, maybe. But after we got his mouth in control, he was great.
Is my mouth under control? Because I don't feel like it most of the time.
No, it's much better than it was.
Yeah, there's not many golden days in my life just strolling home that I get to see someone hammering a sign and it's the shape of a guitar that's saying they're selling guitars in a house. I mean, that was a golden moment in my life to see Don putting that sign up, and I'm like, "You sell guitars?" He's like, "We do now."
Yeah, he started that. I wanted to just sell string straps, just other stuff, little stuff. Well, I thought that's what he was doing. Well, I went down in the basement in the room one day, and I couldn't open the door. And I thought, what the heck? And he had probably 20 guitars, amplifiers. So when he come home, I said, what the hell's going on down there in that room? And he said, what do you mean? I said, you can't even get through the door. I thought you were selling strings and straps and cords. Well, they wanted to trade this and trade that. I said, we got to build another whole thing. You cannot do that. So that's what we did.
Yeah, I had to move out of the little room in the basement and build the room on the back. That when I first walked in that little room in the basement, there was a handful of guitars, just a couple of little amps. There wasn't a whole lot there.
No.
But then there was a whole other area that was his stuff he didn't want you looking at.
Yeah, that was over on the floor wall.
Off limits.
I don't know. I have so.
It kept us playing though, because we always owed you money, and so when we thought about quitting, we couldn't.
No, absolutely not.
She taught us how to be honest.
Yeah, there's no point in music. You have to go.
Yep.
I mean, big stores was envious. They'd tell me, if you go out of business, we can make money. I ain't going. Oh, it used to be wall to wall in there with people and instruments, but I loved it that way.
Yeah.
I see a guitar hanging here on Robert's wall that used to hang on my wall that Andy's talking about. And I don't know how that got there.
Robert made sure that one wasn't leaving.
I know. Well, I did promise it to him a long time ago because it's a 71, and that was the year he was born. So I thought, well, there had to be something good that year. Oh, yeah, my Strat.
Awesome.
Yeah, I told him he could have that one. Actually, the story behind that is that's a brand new Strat that has never been sold. And I got it from the guy that was the dealer, and he still had the case and everything. So when I got it, of course, I put not for sale on it, and so it's actually never been sold.
Wow. That's awesome.
It is. I mean, I've got a lot of guitars I've collected, but that one really, it was just a little country town. It was up by something rock, caveman rock or something, and it was like it was kind of weird back like in the old days. It was a hardware store, it was a food store in the little corner, and then they had this music store in this little corner. It was a do everything here, And when we seen the music sign, I said, stop. They say they sell music there. I said, they're not going to have anything in there. They've got hardware sitting right there. I said, I want to go in. So I went in, and they had they played there too, these three old guys. They had a steel guitar and some stuff set up. And I was looking on his wall, he had 5 guitars. And I said, "Is that all the guitars you got for sale?" And he goes, "No." He said, "I've got one other one, but I don't have no place to hang it." Well, he had to have it probably 10 years when I bought it. And he pulled it out, and I said, "Oh, do you want to sell this one?" He said, "I've wanted to for 9 or 10 years and hadn't done it yet."
Wow.
And I said, "So what do you want for it?" And he said, "Well," he scratched his head, and he said, "Damn thing ain't made me no money yet." He said, "I'll take $300 for it." I said, "Buddy, I'll give you 4.
Holy crap.
And I gave that man $400, and he's like, "Are you sure?" I said, "I'm positive."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think he closed the store for the rest of the day.
That's celebrating that big sale he's been waiting 10 years for.
I guess that was. He asked me, "Is there anything else in here you want?" I said, "No, I pretty much got what I want." Of course, at that time, I was just collecting Fenders. I liked Fenders a lot. But I never did collect anything else except Fenders. A few Gibsons. I don't know. I just always liked Fenders. And I did play a Fender bass for a few years, but once I got into the music store, I had all I wanted. I just never cared to pick one up again. Now, I don't know if that's saying bad things or good things, but I had people play it to me all the time. You guys would come in and play, so I didn't need to.
Yeah, it's better.
Andy bought his first guitar from me, and it was a PVT 15, I believe.
Yep, PVT 15.
And he was bringing it back to have strings put on it, and he
I think we're off. Oh, there she is.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's cutting out again.
Yeah, we got to have her finish this story about Andy's guitar.
Right.
It's like a cliffhanger.
The one that I traded that in for that day was a guy named Jeff Fleming's old Westone guitar is what I bought. And Jeff Fleming was in a band with Andy Hendrick and Jason Hyman, Dave Thompson. They were called Channel 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff Bensman, right?
Yeah, Bensman was in there for a while, right?
Yeah, Bensman was in there for a little bit. Yeah, Jeff Fleming's little brother Randy was like my best friend growing up. He was a hell of a keyboard player. And he was who actually took me there and introduced me to Hoppers. Because Jeff used to go there with all his buddies. And I bought that T15 from Halpin. And then I needed it set up, needed strings. And he's like, "Hey, let's go to Hoppers. Don will set it up. The thing will be like brand new, and he'll do it for like $10. All you got to do is buy strings." Holy cow! So that T15, it had like probably 100-pound case, and we took it up there. Randy, in the back of Randy's dad, he had this old '70s Ford truck, and you know how Jody's driveway is. You know, it has that big drop off on the right-hand side. So here I am, like 13 years old, trying to lift this 100-pound guitar out of the back of the truck. I lift this thing out, and it flipped over the bed down that whole. It fell like 8-10 feet down that. And Jody and Don heard it inside. So I come inside about in tears, thinking my guitar's in pieces. And Don's like, "Yeah, don't worry, buddy. If there's something wrong with it, we'll take care of her." And anyway, they opened it up. That thing was, it was solid. That case was like a tank. But so, over the years, taking it back, and I guess I had it about 2 years. And then I ended up trading that in for this Westone that was Jeff Fleming's. And that was my first layaway plan that I had with her. And I cut grass and, confiscated cans when I could to take them down to one place in East Alton. You could get like 15 cents a pound or something at the time, and it's like anything I could do to like get money to like pay Jody back for this guitar. And, but yeah, Jody, I was just telling them about the T15 and how I traded that in for Jeff Fleming's old Westone.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. Yes.
And I was just gonna finish. I still got the Westone in the case.
Yeah. Good.
It's in pieces because I took the body apart or everything off of it, and I'm gonna sand it down and refinish it.
Repaint it, yeah.
Put some new hardware and stuff on it.
Right.
And, pass it on to one of my boys. Both of them play guitar now. So
I know. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, my older boy, he's over there in quarantine, and that's about what's been getting him by is YouTube and learning stuff. He's really getting into Stevie Ray Vaughan and just some good blues stuff. And
well, that can't hurt nothing.
No, it ain't hurting nothing. It's like, well, we'll have some common ground to mess around with next time.
Right.
One of these days we get to hang out again.
Yeah. Well, everybody's kind of on that thing now, but if it helps us get through it and everybody stays well, I guess it's worth it,
Yeah, that's the whole point.
It's just another thing. We'll make it.
Yeah, we'll get through it.
Can I say something?
Yes, of course.
Jody, I just want to say, with all the guys' stuff and all the music that you've done, not only that, you made a special place for me, for Devin, for Drew. Like, you are so special to us.
Well, honey,
I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to you. I love you so much.
Thank you. And you're just as much a part as the rest of them are, and always will be. I love all of you.
Well, I drug her into it. I was like, we got to go see this gal named Jody.
I remember the first time you brought her in.
Because I think I brought Devin with me, and we bought that little practice set.
Yeah, you did.
And he was, he was so stoked when we got home. He was ready, had his drumsticks, and boy, he's sitting there and he's like beating on him, and he's like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound like a real drum set. I'm like, well, yeah, buddy, it's just a little practice drum set. He's like, okay, well, I'll just beat the crap out of it anyway. So he enjoyed it for, gosh, it was a couple of years we had it.
Right.
But yeah, just like me, I started on drums. I had a little snare drum, and I used to.
See, I didn't know that.
I used to play. My dad rented it from Halpin. Then I took lessons. Do you guys remember the music store that was out at the mall, just past Tilt?
Yeah.
On the right-hand side.
What was that guy's name that run that? Robert, you remember, don't you? I can't remember his name, but he's tall and slim. He actually had the store in Jerseyville and moved it to the mall.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I used to take snare lessons from this old drummer, and it was one of those little, a little 6x6 practice room, with the little snare and stuff.
Yeah.
And I learned all my flams and my flam taps and my Radamacus, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna do something else now. That's cool and all, but man, that looks like a lot of work.
And most people think drumming is easy. It's not.
No, it is not.
I tried to do the snare drum with the rhythm. That's hard as heck.
Yeah. Well, you got 4 different limbs going in 2 different hemispheres that are trying to control it, and it's like
I think one of mine went out.
That's why I don't discount drummers at all.
Oh no. Everybody says they're not a musician. They're just someone that hangs around them. But I beg to differ with them.
Well, I still like to give Chris Link a hard time, but
well, they deserve that sometimes.
Well, that keeps them grounded.
Yeah,
keeps them grounded.
Wondering, yeah. No, I've dealt with a lot less drummers than guitar players, of course, but I've dealt with a lot of them, and this is straight from my heart. Damon Wittman was the best drummer I've ever heard.
I 100% agree with that statement. I grew up with that dude, man. That dude is my bro for life. Damon.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I think it was because, actually, I probably shouldn't tell him this statement, but he had a trash can lid for a cymbal one time.
Yep.
And he even made that sound good. But I thought, he's going to be great because he can play this crap and make it sound good. Wait till he gets a real drum set.
And my first drum kit that I did get, my mom got me at a garage sale when I was like 12.
I knew you went out.
It didn't have no kick drum. It just, it had, you know, we put the toms where I could, and I used the floor tom for the kick drum, and I really had to just finagle, you know. And I did that for a while and drove my mom quite crazy. And then, of course, somebody called me one day from high school, and they said, you know, we need a drummer to show up and play. Can you play? And I go, oh, yeah, I can play. I'd never played on a full kit, you know, or anything. But I go, I don't have a drum set, and they had one. So luckily I showed up, and I played the practice, and it went well, you know. And it's the first time I really ever played the kit. But it was from beating on them pieces from garage sales and what have you. And then when I did finally get what I could use, especially from Jody, bless her heart, and have real equipment, it really helps. You know, it really would help you tremendously.
Well,
Hey,
Appreciate
Jody,
it.
do you
that
see
wasn't
who's
hard. Hard. Well, there's
Hey,
Derrick.
Jody. Yeah, there you go. There's Howard.
Hey, guys.
What's going on,
Hey.
bud?
How are you?
I'm fine. You?
I am wonderful.
Well,
Glad,
we'll have to decide on that. But
man, we miss you so much. You've done everything for everybody, and the whole community loves you.
I love you guys too. You're like you're my family, honestly.
Yes, absolutely.
And
37 years ago, I bought that guitar, and I still got it.
Les Paul. Yep. There it is. And this guy, he delivered papers, he mowed yards, he did whatever, because he paid for that himself. And it wasn't real cheap even back then. But he traded me an excellent guitar for it. It was
Yeah, the ES 335 Hagstrom copy.
Yes.
Got it. Beautiful.
That thing sounded so good.
Had to have a Paul, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you one on him.
Oh,
He comes in here, they were going to get some people together to play. And his brother had a drum set in my store for sale, you know. And he comes in and he says, I've come to pick up the drum set. Greg said, when your brother's name Greg?
Yep.
Yeah. Greg said I could do it. And I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. So they was breaking it down. They took off with it. It wasn't an hour till his brother came in and he looked around and he goes, oh, cool, you sold my drum set. I'm killing Derrick. But it was Derrick. He lied.
To me?
Yeah. So
I don't remember that one.
Even his brother got into it.
As normal.
So,
Was that the Ludwig, the clear Ludwigs?
It was the clear Ludwigs. Yes, they were good. They were good.
Yeah, I didn't want him to sell him, that bum.
Oh my goodness. I think
David would have loved them.
I think your mom.
This delights.
I think your mom even come in on that deal between you two.
Yeah.
Oh, there's been a lot of funny things, sad things, good things, everything. It's just,
Ma'am.
yeah. Derrick was right around one of my first customers too. I've dealt with him.
37.
Yeah.
1983.
Well, that's the year I opened, January 93. I mean, 83.
83.
Yes, ma'am.
83.
Yeah, it sounds more like it. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like it was just yesterday. I can remember, and I can remember the kids as they come in, they go, wow, you know, looking at all the guitars and stuff.
How am I going to afford all these?
Well, a little bit. You remember Albert Hazen? I don't know if he played, but he, what is that?
I don't know.
Somebody getting me, probably somebody ringing in on me.
Oh, okay. And he saved to buy a Les Paul too, along about the same time Derrick did. But he wasn't as, I mean, I liked him, but he was more calm. He wasn't crazy like you guys.
Wasn't as ornery as us?
No, he wasn't.
So, Derrick, who you playing with these days? You've been in so many different bands.
I'm still in so many different bands. I'm still doing Bonehead in its 10th incarnation. Still in Rock Bottom in its 6th incarnation. Playing Broken State and a Queensryche tribute band.
Right.
Called Revolution. And
nice.
Doing sound. Lots of busy as heck.
What are you doing to during this little quarantine? Are you shut down completely?
The girlfriend has me busy building flower beds and putting up shutters and.
Right. That's what you should be doing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I know that joke.
I thought you were going to be building a plane in that new building.
Actually, it's getting there. Until I get everything else out of it, I'm working on it. So.
It looks good, man. Looking good.
Yep. Old neighbor there. Could stop by anytime.
Yeah. I could holler and you could hear me.
Yep. All right, I got to go, guys. Good to see you all. Love you, Jody, especially you, honey. Love you, the matriarch of the Riverbend music scene. You rock.
Thank you.
We love you.
Too.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Derrick Howard there stopping in. So I had a couple more people lined up, Jody, but you know how this connection thing's been treating us.
Oh, I know. It's horrible.
But I want to tell you that Micah Brooks was wanting to be here, and we've been trying to get him in, and Dan Deck.
Oh,
I believe you rescued him at one point.
I saved his life one day. he was my neighbor. His mom still is. He was coming from an off street onto Mayfield, and he was riding his bike, and I seen this car coming, and I thought, holy mackerel, he's not going to stop. Well, as he started out, he seen the car, he hit the brakes, it threw his bicycle over and threw him off. And how I did it, I jumped off of my steps, ran and got him, picked him up, and the car went on by. I mean, it was like a second. And he looked at me, he said, I'm sorry. I'm just glad I could be here. He was scared, though. It hurt him a little bit, but nothing major. He got some scrapes and cuts and stuff, but yeah, he tells me all the time, you saved my life, Jody. I said, yeah, I did. He's a good kid. Well, I guess he's not a kid anymore, but you know.
Oh yeah, we all are, Jody.
Some people just stays my kids, you know. Yeah, and Bash, I used to send him strings overseas when he was in the service.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. You couldn't get the good strings in Japan.
I was the only one who had good strings. Oh, I'm teasing.
Well, I think you told me a story one time about how they're all the same strings, really. They come from 2 or 3 different companies or something.
Some of them do. Yeah, some of them do. But that's with everything, if you only knew. They have they have a major name, then they have a medium line, and then they have the cheap line, and it's all the same company making them. So, you know, a little bit of material changes, maybe from metal to plastic, but insides are the same.
Also, Jody, Todd Keith was trying to join us, so I'm still trying to get him to come in.
Yeah. I've known him since he was a kid, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I wish we could have got everybody on. We all had a little meeting right before we called you, and we were all on there.
I wasn't invited to that.
No, it was a secret meeting.
Yeah,
we were kind of, you know, the local Illuminati or something.
It's the secret society of Jody's children.
Yeah, that's what it is. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness, you guys are silly. It's just like being together out back when we used to sit and talk, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
I had a lady friend, and she came over one day, and she was just sitting out there. She said, "I'm just going to sit here and talk to you for a while." And I said, "Okay." Well, of course, in and out, you know. And she'd been there about an hour and a half, and she goes, "How do you stand this?" I said, "What?" And she said, "People coming in here and playing and beating and all that." I said, "Well, I love it." She said, "I wouldn't do this if I was starving." I said, "I wouldn't let you."
All right. Well, once again, man, thanks to Andy and Damon for sticking with us through this, and Jody, we can't thank you enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Pigpen. So and like I said, Micah Brooks wanted to be here, Todd Keith wanted to be here, Dan Deck, and I'm glad we finally got Derrick Howard on too. So
Right.
it's all for you, Mom.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Announce the plan.
Announce what?
The plan
For?
Okay.
for
To take over the world.
Our project.
yes.
We're going to have a project. We're not quite sure exactly when, but it's to celebrate the store, and I want everybody to come and play or whatever. We're going to try to do it maybe sometime in September.
Later in September, if the COVID thing is over by then. I know all you guys know about it because I've told you. I think except Scrap, but I think he's heard. So, but I know I've talked to Damon, of course.
Yep.
Candace, of course, Bash, and Derrick that was on, and yeah, we can't. We all know Jody's getting a little bit older. I'm not going to say older, but a little bit older, and I can't. I'm hoping that, like, maybe I can keep it going for my age now to the age she is right now.
He won't. I'm killing him after him saying that.
I was going to say. He ain't going to make it up out of that room.
Can't come up.
That's the plan. Hopefully,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and their camera's gone. She's like, "Get over here."
That's the last we will ever see of Robert.
That's it.
Yeah.
He just got snatched right back down that
Yeah.
rabbit hole, like boom.
Yeah.
He's gone.
And I don't think we could have come up with a better ending to the show.
And the plan that-
Her camera's gone again, so we'll have to find out the story, the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey said.
Yeah, the exciting conclusion.
Right. All right, man. Well, thanks you guys once again for tuning in with us and doing this for Jody, man.
Oh, thanks for putting it together, Bash. This has been awesome.
Yes.
Thanks to Damon. I'm gonna look up your stuff on Facebook, man. I'm interested. What's the name of your band again?
Well, I'm in Seventh and Ever's my original band. I do covers in Leadfoot, Tripwire, 2 different bands I play covers with. And
That's
then I have also 2 tribute bands. I play in a Boston tribute band, Third Stage, and an Iron Maiden tribute band, Killer Instinct.
No kidding.
And all of them play. So, right now we're just all working on music. Yeah, that's all what we're doing.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, yeah, we'll check out your stuff on there, man. I like looking up new music, and it'll be interesting to hear your original stuff, and can't wait to see it play out whenever we can get out playing out again.
That's awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. I'm gonna disconnect. What?
I was going to say before we hang up, Pigpen, I think if I need a new co-host, I'm going to just call Andy up. He does a good job of interviewing people.
He's on it, man.
Yeah. Hey, just don't get me talking too many stories, because then you got to cut me off. I'm like that guy at the bar that you're like, is this guy going to shut up yet? It's like, back in 1985, well,
Great
yeah.
stuff, though.
I thank you for the compliment, Bash. Don't want to take your job, Scrappy. You do a good job too. I like watching you guys' podcasts. I like you guys' interviews. You got a good magic going on.
Well, thanks a lot, man. He's the dude doing the interviews. He just lets me hang out. I just hang out and talk nonsense.
All right. We'll catch up with you guys later, man. I look forward to giving you guys a hug when we can do that again.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Right on, man. Good to see you guys, man.
Take care.
All right. You've been listening to Riverbend Talent, brought to you by the Halpa Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorst of Macias Insurance.